All right, here we go.
Ready?
Here we go.
Whiteout.
Can't wait for this one.
Oh, boy.
This is the biggest game of the week, one of the biggest games of the year. Number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC. Shout out a former Syracuse classmate of mine, actually a good friend of mine, Noah Eagle. He'll be on the call for this game. What a call he's going to have.
Noah and Todd on the biggest game of the week. Gotta love it.
Todd Blackledge, former Penn State national champion quarterback too. So we'll see.
Boy, oh boy.
But shout out Noah. He's killing it right now. But can't wait for this game. 2 national championship favorites are squaring off in the most electric atmosphere in college football, the whiteout. Saturday night's game between third-ranked Penn State and number 6 Oregon is not just a rematch of last year's Big Ten title game. It's a showdown between 2 of the favorites to win it all this year. Right now, the Nittany Lions and the Ducks are plus 700 each to win the national title. The only one above them on DraftKings Sportsbook, Ohio State, plus 550. How about that? The 3 favorites to win it all this year are all from the Big Ten.
Well, the books kind of, they're not loving the SEC right now, are they?
It's kind of crazy.
Oh, man.
So 2 of the 3 favorites to win the national title are squaring off in the whiteout on Saturday night. Both Penn State and Oregon. Penn State's 3-0, Oregon's 4-0. They're both undefeated. But it's also fair to say neither of them have been truly tested so far either. Nittany Lions have beaten 3 teams, one of them an FCS team in Villanova. The other 2 schools in Nevada and FIU are 115th or worse in PFF's power rankings. The Ducks, meanwhile, have not beaten a team in the top 80 of that power ranking either. So Saturday night will truly show who is a legitimate national title contender this year. And like I said, I know I'm a little biased as a lifelong Penn State fan. The whiteout truly is the most electric atmosphere I've ever been in. And in a night game against that kind of opponent too, it should be one of the most electric whiteouts of all time, I think.
The proper environment for a game of this caliber, huh? I mean, just unbelievable the amount that we're going to find out about both teams. We have yet to see Penn State tested after a Final Four run last year. We've yet to really see Oregon tested. Obviously, they've beaten Northwestern and they dominated the Civil War against Oregon State, which is a little bit better than
Oklahoma State, who just fired their head coach from Mike Gundy.
And Oklahoma State. So you go, okay, Oregon's at least beaten 3 Power 4 teams, although not great ones, but nothing that's a true test for them either. No, this is, you mentioned it, one of the biggest games of the year, maybe a top 5 biggest game of the year, and especially in the Big Ten where we're going to have a handful of this caliber. This is huge. This is the first big test that's going to show us the road of what the rest of the Big Ten standings look like.
Yeah, my dad will actually be in attendance. He invited Mr. Lancey out for it too, and then also my uncle is going to be there. We could have gone to it if they played a noon game, which is ironic considering I'm so happy it's a night game considering how big this game is, but also we could have gone to it if it's a noon game, but now there's a night game we can't go to.
Well, we'll just have to put it on the TV with 5 other games
They
at a
should think
time.
about us before they schedule these games.
Well, yeah, they should.
Consult the PFF College Football Show.
We'll get there. We will get to that point. As long as you guys keep liking and subscribing, we will get to the point where we're dictating time of games.
Yeah, you have the Oregon offense, which I'll get to the other offense in a second, but this offense has looked really good so far.
Yeah, it's looked really good so far. Dante Moore has looked really good so far. And the big thing for me, we just talked about with the Iowa offensive line and how just dominant they are as run blockers. Remember 2 years ago, Oregon's pass protection, Jackson Powers, Johnson, those guys just setting records for pass protection. They're back. And the reason Dante Moore looks so comfortable is because he could stand back in the pocket and eat dinner and then still throw the football and have time to do it all. This Oregon team right now in pass protection, I'm not saying they played any great teams yet, but first in the country in pass blocking grade by a pretty good margin, second in pressure rate allowed. Dante Moore's only been sacked 1 time this year. They're getting their first true test against Denai Dennis Sutton and Zariah Fisher and Zane Durant and this Penn State pass rush that is 7th in the FBS in pass rush grade. I think this is a battle for on the offensive side for Oregon. This, to me, is the battle that is going to decide this. Is this Oregon pass protection that's been elite so far. If they play at this level in this game and Dante's that clean in the pocket as he's been in his first 4, it's a wrap, I think. I really do. As good as Dante Moore looks, 87.6 passing grade, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception, 7 big-time throws so far. Everything looks just so good for Dante Moore, but it's in part because he's so well protected. If Dennis Sutton and Fisher off the edge especially don't get pressure and consistent pressure on Dante Moore, there's going to be a real problem. All 5, think about it this way actually, 4 of Oregon's 5 starting offensive linemen have pass blocking grades of at least 82. The only one that doesn't is actually the guy that all the scouts are all over is Isaiah World, and he's still at a 73, which is pretty darn good. This to me is the big thing. And Jim Knowles blitzes pretty significantly less than Tom Allen did last year. He's relying on these four to get pressure, kind of like he did at Ohio State. These front four, they're going to need Penn State's going to need their big names in the pass rush to succeed in this game and disturb Dante Moore in this environment, or they're going to have a huge problem because he looks so good and so comfortable right now.
Yeah, Zane Durant and Dennis Sutton have to have big games probably.
Huge. And I think Zariah Fisher plays a big part of that too, the other side off the edge. Durant needs to get it going. He just hasn't really looked that dominant the first couple of games. He's a big piece of this too against a really good interior.
Well, it's kind of a theme, unfortunately, for Penn State right now because this offense, Dalton, I was watching the tape on it, looking at some numbers last night too. Hopefully, for Penn State's sake, they're holding back right now. If they're not, there should be some serious alarms going off at Penn State right now. So like I mentioned before, the Nittany Lions have had 3 cupcakes to start their season so far in Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. Despite having those 3 cupcakes, you could not really tell the way their offense has looked so far. Penn State, 65th in the country, right about average in the country in EPA per pass. 75th in the country in yards per pass. 89th in the country in explosive pass rate. Again, against FIU, Nevada, and Villanova. 3 teams where you should be padding your stats right there, and they're not doing that right now. Despite entering the year as one of the favorites to be the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, quarterback Drew Aller is only 101st in America with a 68.6 PFF grade. His accuracy has been all over the place this year. He's only 86th in the country with over a 21% uncatchable pass rate. His messy footwork still leads to way too many accuracy issues. Penn State also hasn't been great around him either. Right now, they're 72nd in receiving grade as a team, 82nd in rushing grade as a team. The offensive line has dominated so far in pass blocking and run blocking, but again, it was against FIU, Villanova, and Nevada. Now, I will say, there is a chance, and David Pollock, we actually will have on the show in a separate video. Check it out. It's a great interview with him. David Pollock even said, I think it's more of Andy Kotelnicki not showing his cards just yet because he knows, hey, we could beat these 3 teams without, putting our best stuff out there on the field. Let's hold our best stuff for the Oregon game. There is a chance it's the case. If it's not the case, this is a big problem for Penn State right now. Oregon right now is 5th in the country in EPA per pass on defense. Penn State still has a lot of talent on offense. Obviously, those 2 running backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. Drew Aller is still going to be an NFL quarterback, probably, in my opinion, in some capacity, whether it be as a starter or as a backup. The offensive line has a lot of talent. They improved the receiving core too. Yes, they are missing Tyler Warren big time, who's a superstar now with the Indianapolis Colts, but I still think they improved at wide receiver through the portal this year. But they got to play like it, man. And they have not looked great in their 3 cupcakes so far. And now you have your biggest home game of the season against a team that has legitimate national title aspirations just like you do. Penn State's passing game really has to perform in this game.
Agreed. I think there is a road to success here for Penn State, Kotelnicki, Aller, actually through the run game. Oregon's only 53rd in run defense grades so far this year. The defensive line has been solid. I don't think it's been fantastic through their first few games. I think they're going to try to ride this offensive line and Katron Allen and Nick Singleton as long as they can. I think that's the big thing, like you just mentioned. Now, through their first few games, they have been in very few, if any, obvious passing situations. True. A, because they can run the ball, and B, because those teams offensively were no threat to them at all, right? Yeah. Now, these are the moments that we're waiting on for Penn State. And it's the same as last year, it's the same as the year before. It's whatever. A, are the wide receivers good enough? B, is Drew Aller accurate enough? And C, can this team as a whole succeed in obvious passing situations when the run game, maybe they're not popping off for 250, 300 yards? And look, let's be real about something here. They ran for almost 9 yards a carry against Oregon in the conference title game last year. They still lost.
Yep.
The passing game for Penn State's for their big games, for their Big Ten title hopes, for their national title hopes, the passing game and what it looks like in these big moments is the X factor. It's the one I question. That's the craziest part about this. Oregon's starting Dante Moore, right? They had him sitting on the bench last year behind Dylan Gabriel, and I question Penn State's passing game way more than Oregon's right now, the way it looks.
Yeah, who Drew Aller's entering his fourth year?
Fourth year in
as
college, third year as a starter.
Or third year as a starter.
Third year as a starter, and we are still at this point. It's not all him. I question the wide receivers too. Devontae Ross hasn't done a whole lot. Trevor Pena, solid, obviously. It's just we got to see it. This is the moment. And against an Oregon secondary that's been pretty darn good back there. I mean, you got Dylan. They got a lot of transfers. You've got Dylan Thieneman back there at free safety. You got some guys back in that secondary. And Dan Lenning's coming with the defensive schemes. I mean, Jaden Kennedy's playing well. Dalen Austin. I mean, they've got guys left and right. Brandon Finney. These guys are playing well in coverage. And now they haven't. Here's the thing. I want to say, yes, they haven't played a passing game this good. But does that apply? Like you mentioned, or is Penn State's passing game that good? There's no Tyler Warren this time. It's Kyron Hudson. It's Devontae Ross. It's Trevor Pena. Maybe it's Luke Reynolds. Obviously, Nick Singleton's going to get a couple. But these are the moments. Penn State's season this year is going to be defined by moments, and generally moments in obvious passing situations. And
like I said, if they play like they have been against Villanova, Nevada, and FIU against Oregon, I think Penn State has no shot in this game. Their only prayer on offense is, hey, we've been holding back these first 3 weeks, and Drew makes a serious improvement, because right now, I mean, they've looked like an average passing game at the very best for so far. They need to play a lot better against Oregon.
I do think there's a realistic road even beyond that if they can run the football and get ahead.
Yeah.
I also think this is a game. This is the fun part of having Dylan Thieneman back there. I think he's the best single high safety in the country. You have Dylan Thieneman back there, single high, play single high and load up 8 in a box. Go ahead, Drew. Let's see. Go ahead and throw on Dylan Thieneman. You've played Purdue before. You know how good that guy is. That's me right there. This is a moment where if I'm Oregon, I got the best center fielder back there. I'll put everybody else up front and see what happens.
Yeah. I know it's cheesy, but also the 12th man will make a big factor in this game with that crowd, too.
Oh, for as much as you're obviously worried about this is going to be a great football game.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be just a ridiculous first, the vibe of it all and how this game is going to be in a phone booth.
That place is going to be rocking on Saturday. I can't wait for that. I'm very jealous of my dad and my uncle for going to it. Ultimately, Dalton, will my dad and my uncle be heartbroken leaving the stadium? Will Oregon come out with a huge victory over Penn State? Or will Penn State ease all of our concerns right now about their offense and come out with a huge win at home?
You're going to make me do this to my guys, Mike and Mark, like that? You're going to make me do that? Really?
Remember, they got you that bottle of bourbon, right?
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean,
they're trying to buy your support here.
They're trying to. But just I'm kind of with you. I'm worried about it. Oregon 27, Penn State 23. I do think, again, Penn State, if they can get out and run the football, and they can get ahead of the game early, I would almost consider even taking the ball first. I really would. I know it's kind of blasphemy now to take the ball first if you win the coin toss. I would think about it. I would, because I think Penn State, they want to control the line of scrimmage, the run game, time of possession. Let's eat this clock away. Let's get Andy Kotelnicki. Yeah, we're probably going to see some tricky stuff that we haven't seen the first 3 games. They can win those 3 games with vanilla schemes. This one maybe not, but I do think the biggest factors for Penn State are Allen and Singleton. They need to have huge nights for them to win this game. I just think Oregon's offense, they are rolling. They are absolutely. Dante Moore, we figured he could go in there, and you were in this especially, that he could go in there and look good. Dante Moore, if he goes out there and shreds Penn State in this game, he's in the Heisman race.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
this could be his Heisman game at the end of the year.
He has looked fantastic, and boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see his true freshman wide receiver, DeCorian Moore, on such a big stage, too. He's awesome, isn't he?
Oh, he's a superstar.
He is so awesome.
That kid rules, dude.
He is so good.
Not even as a receiver, too, but there's some highlight reel blocks he's had. That guy just loves ball, man.
He does. For a true freshman, you talk about earning his playing time, and earning the fact that he's the number 1 receiver on that team already. But, no, I mean, the environment, it's going to be fun because it's the biggest environment Dante Moore and DeCorian Moore have played in, and it's a lot of new pieces even on that Oregon defense in the secondary. But I'm going to take them. I think they're rolling. I think they got a lot of momentum right now. And Penn State, if they want to win this game, it's about ball control and the ground game.
Yep. As a lifelong Penn State fan, I am. I really.
Oh, you're hedging right now, aren't you?
You're hedging? I always look for an avenue for Penn State to win the game, but if I'm truly going to be an unbiased host here on the PFF College Football Show, like I owe you guys, the audience, to be, I'm going to pick Oregon.
I mean, there's an avenue to win the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, based off the tape that we've had so far, I am worried about the Nittany Lions a little bit right now. I still think they're going to be a great team at the end of the year, but the way they're looking right now, I'm picking Oregon to go into one of the most hostile environments in all of sports, let alone college football. and escape. I think it will be a defensive slugfest. I do. I think Penn State's offense could struggle in this game, and I think Penn State's defense could give Oregon a lot of issues in this game too. So I have it 24-20. Big game James has got to have a big game in this one. James Franklin's got to win a big game like this, but I just look at this team, the way they're playing right now, and like I said, maybe we're dead wrong. Maybe they have been holding back in those first 3 games. It's entirely possible. If they haven't been, though, and you're going against a team in Oregon that is red hot, that is as good as you are, this is where I think Penn State could crumble a little bit. I think it'll be a close game. I could totally see Penn State pulling it off, but based on the tape we've gotten from the first few weeks, I have to pick Oregon.
Last question on this one because we got to move. Is there any single player more under the microscope this week than Drew Aller?
I don't think so.
Probably not. And there's a lot of great games and a lot of great players playing this week, but is there anyone who's going to be more heavily scrutinized this week than Drew Aller?
Woodweeks, maybe.
Especially if the over hits. Good call.
Especially if the over hits.
Yeah, but he's getting scrutinized behind the scenes. I'm talking national.
That's true. No, I think it will be Drew Aller. I think Drew Aller is probably the most heavily scrutinized player.
What a ball game.
But it could be someone from the next game too, Dalton, that we got, because we got a loaded one the next one. But before we get to that game, again, the fact that there's even an argument for Penn State-Oregon not being the biggest game of the weekend shows you how freaking incredible this Saturday of college football is.